Welcome to AW360 Live at Advertising Week New York. I'm BJ Smith, and I am joined by Matt O'Grady from Nielsen Catalina Solutions. Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me.
So, have you been around? So we're in day 4. This is the end of Advertising Week. It's sad, but it's coming to an end. Have you been able to spend much time around the event?
Yeah, well, I live in New York, so it's a little easier for me. I don't have to travel.
Oh, that's nice.
But it's been a great week. I've been here actually since Monday. I find the sessions and the engagement level and the attendance has been strong.
Yeah, it's, we're right here next to the one of the main stages, and we hear the crowds coming and going, and I don't necessarily get to see them, but I definitely hear them in the background, so it seems like it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, and all the speakers exit right by here.
Yeah, and I don't see that either.
Okay.
I haven't seen Sarah Jessica Parker or Venus Williams or anybody else pass through, but I know they've been over here.
Venus was here today.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm curious, since you've been around and seen some of the things here, what are some of the themes that have emerged throughout the week?
I think the biggest theme has been sort of the seismic shift that's really happening in both the advertising and the content ecosystems. Like they're happening at the same time, and they're playing off each other's. Because content is seeping in so many different places now, and we might call it over the top, or we might call it linear TV or addressable TV, but there's just so much great content. I think it's a really exciting time to be in TV or video. And then on the flip side of it, there's all of the questions about how you advertise on those quote unquote channels or portals or publishers. And so I think that's been the theme, like all that change causes a lot of, disruption, and tension sometimes in the ecosystem, but it's really fun to see it, watching itself play out.
So what do you think about have you seen a big shift between the types of content that we've been paying attention to over the last few years?
Right. I think the type of content we're paying attention to is just accessible in many other places now. So, the idea of a miniseries or a network program that runs for 10 or 15 weeks now can be consumed, or binge watching, as we all obviously start to do now. And so it's like a golden age of content. There is great content everywhere, and yes, the audiences are spreading around, so that makes it harder to count them, that makes it harder to measure them, and everybody wants to make sure that they're getting what they paid for.
So making sure that we're counting that, we're talking about multi-touch attribution now.
Yes, multi-touch attribution or just basic measurement too. Right. There's a great foundation of reach and frequency measurement, and Nielsen has expanded that with its total audience strategy, so that you can, so you're measuring not just who watched something on a linear TV, but somebody who watched content or ads in a digital format or in a mobile format, so that you get the total audience for the total campaign across all screens or all platforms. So that gives you reach and frequency, and that's very important, and I think that's here to stay.
Right.
Because the thing about reach and frequency built on age and gender, everybody has an age and a gender.
Right.
But not everybody is a Starbucks drinker or a Crest tooth buyer, et cetera, so toothpaste buyer. So those are the new things that are being added on top of it. People want to, and that's known sort of as buyer graphics, buying an audience in addition to their rating.
So are we finding some of that information, obviously, if they're buying online, but one of the things you mentioned before is talking about loyalty cards in physical stores.
Right.
Are we using that information to build that?
Actually, Nielsen Catalina Solutions, we're very lucky to have a lot of purchase data that we receive from Catalina, and that's a very robust data set so that we understand who the person or the household is, what's really in their basket. Are they heavy? Are they loyal shoppers? Are they likely to be switchers, et cetera? Right. And then find the right, the advertiser that wants to find those particular households can do so, whether it's TV, whether it's mobile, whether it's digital, desktop, print, radio, we cover it all.
Yeah, that's interesting, and it's so amazing to me to see where our technology has changed and grown in the past few years, and how we're more able to use that. Do you have in the back of your mind, what are some of the things that you're looking forward to that you think we'll start seeing in the next maybe 2, 3, 5 years from now?
Yeah, I don't know how many years it's going to be, but the source of truth and consistency or standards, and standards would probably be last. Everybody, judgment is on truth, what's correct, but just consistency, so that when you go to buy a particular audience based on a product, not just on their age and gender, that you're getting that audience. And it's hard. It's hard because there's so many different data sets out there. And the thing with big data, that's the other thing about this conference. Everybody's talking big data, big data, big data. But it's got to be, first of all, available.
Right.
It's got to, the quality is always in question. How good is the quality? And then do you know what to do with it, the utility of it?
Right.
So availability, quality, utility. And that last utility, you were talking about technology. Sometimes technology almost jumps ahead of the quality questions.
Right.
We have ecosystems and we have models and we have algorithms and we have technology, that can deliver an audience, but you don't know if it's really, what's hidden behind that.
That was the problem in the early days of programmatic, right?
Exactly.
Because we started out, we said, we've got this great thing that can automatically, that's going to save you so much money, it's going to automatically bid for you.
Right.
But what we didn't necessarily anticipate were the issues with fraud and bots going in there. And
Right. Perfect example. And there's still some of that going on today.
Right.
We've heard from the CMOs of P&G and of Unilever that they are demanding accountability. And I respect that. I'm fine with that. We know we can measure an audience at Nielsen Catalina based upon the actual household or buyer,
right.
Not based on a likelihood. And they have every right to expect that, And the publishers also, the publishers of the networks who own that data, have every right to monetize that data, to protect that data, and both sides deserve a healthy profit, But the devil's in the details sometimes.
Sure,
you could easily slide back to 10 years ago. You're only as strong as your weakest link. If the data's not good, if you build your house on sand,
right,
you're going to get washed away. So no pun intended on all the hurricanes.
Oh no, yeah, that's timely.
Right.
No, but I understand what you mean.
Yeah, the foundation of quality data and understanding audiences and understanding, we're behavioralists.
Right.
Did they buy or not buy?
Right.
And that's the bottom of the funnel. Was there a reaction? Did you convert them?
Right. Matt, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you. Thanks. I really appreciate it.
Good to see you. We'll be back with more AW360 at Advertising Week New York.